The ultimate hack for Einstein's so-called fourth dimension space-time fabric of gravity is the law of volume and the fact that we have particles, and that the law of volume must be divisible into a particle, and that if space-time is the fabric that's supposedly superfluous, like a fluid, that it must be particulate if it's superfluous. So it's the ether, the aether, whatever they called it, however you pronounce that. It has to be a particle, which means that if it does exist, and you can prove that it exists, you're measuring particles by the law of volume, because the law of volume states that anything that exists must have volume, because if you take away a dimension of height, width, or depth away from any object that exists, it ceases to exist. Therefore, space-time has to be voluminous, and it must be particulate to be superfluous according to Einstein. And if it isn't particulate, it's one solid volume, that would be very strange. And it doesn't seem as though it would be anything other than like a massive particle itself. Like one giant, not necessarily massive, but it does make gravity according to Einstein. But it is a particle itself. It's like something that contains us. So it could be a particle in an outer dimension, like an inside interdimensional multiverse. Okay, so what really is it? How can you measure it if it's not a particle? How does it have individuality effects on any one given state or particle if it's one giant volume? But Einstein said it was superfluous, like a fluid, so therefore it must be particles according to Einstein. So it must not really truly be the fourth dimension of time, and space-time is not real, and there really is empty space. So this wouldn't necessarily be true that Einstein is accurate. It has to be tested with a very dynamic test that cannot be invaded upon by outsourced energies or particles or effects. Because, I mean, the dimensional analysis of it has to be even calculated with things that might even be unknown. So really we need the geometry, because geometry is like the origin of everything. Because without geometry, which is the law of volume, nothing can exist. So everything that does exist, if it actually does exist, has to have volume. So this is the hack for Einstein. It takes us into the end of the Einstein era and all of particles in motion and gravity and all of the predictions. This is where this subject of modern physics really begins and also ends in the quest to understand if we do solve space-time. Okay, because we know that there are particles, or at least we appear to think they are. We believe we see particles, and we believe that the objects of geometry that are apparent in our life are made of particles. And there are particle fields, and these particle fields are important to study. So this is the hack for all modern physics, and I'm aware of it. You might want to understand that means I'm a physicist. Whether you like to believe it or not, I was never certified in a university. I did go to college. I did study physics, chemistry, biology, engineering, machines, technology, science fiction, you name it. And I've studied a lot of things, seen a lot of movies, did a lot of time in my life. I'm 40 years old. I do not have a university degree, but I am educated. And allegedly I have a better IQ. IQ isn't everything. Just trust me, it's not. So, but let's uh, let's say that this is the hack for um, all modern physics. Just particles in motion, the discovery of the Einstein era, hacking Einstein right now in this day and age, right now, since 2017, the NASA experiment of the spherical gyroscope, and discovering what I just said. So, like, once you do this, you will become the modern day physicist.